Thank you. If we all please rise to start the program this afternoon, please join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Good afternoon and welcome to the 57th commencement ceremony of Twin Lakes High School for the class of 2020. I'm Melissa Whitehead, principal of Twin Lakes High School. It's an honor and privilege to share this special occasion with you. Even though your educators could not be here today, they applaud you for all of your accomplishments and perseverance that brought you to this point. Our teachers are committed to cultivating the skills, knowledge, and desire for our kids to be part of something great. Through your teachers, you have been inspired to have the confidence and determination to seek out your life dreams. As educators, nothing is more important to us than seeing each of you be successful in your life calling. Your teachers, counselors, administrators, parents, family, and friends over the years have all helped you get to this point. We are all excited to see you here today at the end of this journey as you cross the finish line of what you've been working towards the past 13 years. Today is a day of significance. Today is a day that you remember your whole life. Today is a day for you to be proud of who you are and what you have achieved. I'm proud to stand before you today as your principal to celebrate your success. Do not be afraid to dream big and set your goals high. Always remember to celebrate your victories, where the experiences you will encounter and the journey you will take to get there are as important as the dream itself. When I think of the class of 2020, I will always think of the class that had to overcome obstacles. Each and every one of you had to adapt to the ending of your senior year at home doing e-learning. You were able to adapt to the conditions caused by a pandemic and overcame this obstacle of what turned into our new normal. Back in January, when you started your final semester, you were probably hoping for a snowstorm so you could have a couple of e-learning days. The snow really didn't come this year. The weather was getting nicer day by day, and you started to count down the days for spring break. We only had one day to remind us it was still cold outside. The day we didn't have any heat in the building, and we dismissed early. Walking the halls with your friends, sitting in the commons, seeing your friends' good compete in their final spring sport, and all the excitement that the month of May brings for seniors was just around the corner. No one would have ever thought that pandemic was going to be written in your final high school chapter. I know the class of 2020 is resilient. You were put in a difficult situation that was completely out of your control, and make the most of it. With any difficult situation, there are two choices. You can either get caught up in the moment, complaining and asking, why is this happening to me? Or you can make the most of a difficult situation and know that you will get through it and come out stronger and wiser for it. As Mrs. Swain, Mr. South, and I made 180 senior house stops over a 4-day time period, we saw hope, courage, and our future leaders with positive attitudes, not just overcoming this obstacle, but getting ready to emerge even stronger. The ending of this year definitely looked different, definitely felt different, but the reward at the end is the same. It took a little more planning, a little more patience, and a lot of flexibility, but we've all arrived at the moment in time to recognize that our seniors, for all their hard work, long hours, and the obstacles that they overcame. Even though the last 9 weeks was nothing like we thought it was going to be, we overcame obstacles. The class of 2020 will forever be a part of history. From this experience, I hope each and every one of you have emerged stronger, are more aware of your surroundings, are a better problem solver, and a more critical thinker because of it. You all have the tools to be very successful, and you all should be very proud to say you are a graduate of Twin Lakes High School. In closing, I want to say, appreciate the little things, and don't take the big things for granted. I wish all of you nothing but the best in your future endeavors. We are all very proud of you. On behalf of the Twin Lakes staff, congratulations, class of 2020. You will forever be a part of the TL family and history. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Michael Galvin, Twin Lakes School Corporation Superintendent, to share a congratulatory message. Mr. Galvin.
Okay, you all got used to seeing me in a lot of videos here at the end of the school year, so you all watched the first go-round video, right? So I don't have to do my speech now, is that right? Well, you guys are looking serious today. Put some smiles out there on those faces. So anyway, well, we'll go through it. So it's good for you to be here. We're glad you were here, and congratulations, class of 2020. So good afternoon. And I'd like to take a moment to recognize as well as commend our Twin Lakes School Corporation Board of School Trustees, as well as our Assistant Superintendent, Ms. Debbie Metzger. Without their leadership and their dedication to making decisions on the foundation of what is best for our students, we could not do what we do each and every day. So I thank them. Unfortunately, they're not with us today as we try to minimize the number of people that were with us. So this is a special day. You've arrived. You've got to this point where you are going out into the world. You're going to begin to make your own destiny, your own dreams come true. And it is. It's been a difficult year. You're going to forever be known as the class of 2020 that graduated during the pandemic. And it was because of that I really struggled with what to share with you guys. No one else has faced this situation. So how do I encourage you? How do I prepare you or say something that will help you as you head out? And over the past few days, and even this morning, I kind of began to really capture that. And I've been doing my own personal Bible studies in the book of 1 Samuel and reading about David and Goliath. I'm not sure if everyone remembers that story, but it was a young man, maybe a few years younger than you, but right around your age, by the name of David. And he was a shepherd and took care of his father's sheep, Jesse. He was the youngest son in the family, and that was his job. And his older brothers all went off to war to fight against the Philistines for the Israelites, the country of Israel. And Jesse came to his son one day and said, I want you to take some food and supplies to your brothers. And so David went off to the battle to provide him with those supplies. And when he got there, The Israelite army was intense. They were scared to death. They didn't want to go out into the field of battle because the Philistines had this huge giant named Goliath. So they were fearful to step even onto the battlefield. And David really found courage at that point. Here he had really not done anything except raise sheep. As you probably may remember, he had a sling and 3 stones. And he had learned for years how to handle that sling to kill the wild animals that tried to attack the sheep. And David decided to go out onto that battlefield. He took that first step into that field of battle. And today, you stand at the edge of your field. The challenges face you. The successes await you. There will be achievements. You will succeed a lot. But most likely there'll be more failures than successes. It's in those failures, though, that you will learn the most about who you are, about how you can handle things. You'll really understand yourself more deeply. I have no doubt that you will overcome those failures, learn from them, because you've already rose above the challenge of this year. You sit here today prepared to graduate, to begin that process of slaying your own dragons. You know, the class of 2020 will forever be remembered as the class that graduated during the pandemic. But you hold your sling. You choose how you handle those failures. You choose how you learn and how you push forward. Today you sit here with these people in the stands who have spent sleepless nights, shed tears, and shared laughter with you as you've grown up through the years. You are the embodiment of their dreams, of their aspirations for you. Parents, you've done a great job. I truly thank you for supporting your kids as well as Twin Lakes School Corporation. So today, on behalf of the Board of School Trustees, the administration, and your teachers, I wish you, the class of 2020, the best in your future endeavors. Great things are happening at Twin Lakes School Corporation, and the class of 2020 is one of them. I wish you the best in slaying your giants, and your dragons too. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Yowen. Now I'd like to introduce our next 3 speakers. First will be Miles Ademi. Miles is the senior class president. Miles' parents are Mr. and Mrs. Florine and Violet Ademi. Miles' future plans are to attend Ball State University and major in legal studies. Our second speaker will be our salutatorian, Samantha Hitz. Sam's parents are Mr. and Mrs. Larry and Tina Hitz. Sam's future plans are to attend Heron School of Art and Design at IUPUI, major in illustration. Our final speaker will be Twin Lakes High School's class of 2020 valedictorian, Kirsten Roberts. Kirsten's parents are Mr. and Mrs. Mike and Rachel Roberts. Kirsten's future plans are to attend Purdue University and major in natural resources and environmental sciences. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Miles to the stage.
In life, I was always told, Miles, prepare for something amazing. However, what's the amazing? Graduating high school, graduating college, moving away? That's my amazing. But what's yours? As all 60 of us gather here today, we know in our hearts that we are moving onto greater, bigger things in our lives. These things, however, all depend on you. This day marks the day of freedom for many of you in the crowd. Freedom from the structure you've had to follow all of your life. As of right now, you are in full control. This is the time of your life where you can become anything you desire to be, whether it goes against what others want from you. You can go to college or not. You can go to the military. You can travel. Or you can even buy an old car and drive across the country. Life is more than good grades and studying. Life is about the experiences that you will encounter. But life is going to play tricks on you. You can lose your job. You can go into debt. You can get sick. How does someone get through something like that? Well, it's all about your passion. We'll all hit hard spots within our lives. However, our passion and determination to make something out of our lives will always guide us to a brighter future. The future is ours, not anyone else's to control. Not for the people who tell us our dreams are unachievable. Each one of our dreams are different, but it's these dreams that keep us moving forward and allow us to carve a unique future that we will one day look back on with a smile. Take a minute and look back on the life you've had. Now, how many whys do you have? Why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? Now, look towards your future. Think of the days that will come, how you will grow, and how you will age. One day, you may be 70 or 80 in a senior home, and you will meet people that did the things you were too afraid to do. At that point, it'll be too late. Never run away from the things that scare you the most. Take a risk, even if it means losing some of the people closest to you. The ones who will stay are the ones who truly want to see you live out your dreams. Part of the journey is the end, so make the journey worthwhile, and one day you will wake up and watch the sunrise over a grateful universe that you helped create. Thank you. Please welcome Sam to the stage.
Hello, everyone. I would like to say that I did in fact put off writing the speech until the very last moment, mostly because I wasn't sure what to say. When I first came to Twin Lakes, and when I met some of you for the first time, I was a very small and greasy little kid. I wasn't very popular, and I definitely didn't stand out in the crowd. As for being second in the class, I know I'm not smarter than some of you sitting in front of me, so I don't know how that happened. That being said, I didn't think I would ever be given this kind of opportunity, so I haven't really thought of what to say. I always knew that saying goodbye would be the hardest part of graduating high school. My 3 years at Roosevelt and 4 years here at Twin Lakes has allowed me to get to know almost all of you very well. I've come to consider you guys my family, whether that be in a sibling way or in a distant cousin type of way. I've laughed with you guys, argued with you, cried with you, and I would like to think that we've all grown and matured together. My fears of saying goodbye were made even worse when school got canceled because of the virus, and I wasn't sure if I'd ever get to see any of you again. On one hand, there's an almost relieving freedom knowing that I will never have to attend another class here, and then the nostalgic sadness that I will never attend another class here. I'm glad to be graduating high school. I'm excited to move on to the next stage of my life, but I'm going to miss you guys. When you spend over 4 years with a group of people, they become your normal, but we can't all be high schoolers forever. All of us are going to branch out and do our own things. Some of us are going to succeed, and some of us will fail, but that's okay. No matter what we end up doing, or where we end up going, or whatever happens, remember that it's okay to fail. It's okay to not know what you want to do. It's okay to explore the world and live your life. The next step after high school isn't always college. It isn't always a job. Sometimes it could just be relaxing for a while, giving yourself time to explore the world around you, or yourself. So I would like to say thank you. Thank you guys for the memories, for the good times, for the bad times, and for making these past 4 years of school truly worth it. If I had to give any advice, it would be to do what makes you happy, and eventually everything else will come together. I'm going to miss all of you, and I can't wait to see what you guys do for the world. Thank you. And please welcome Kirsten to the stage.
Hey everybody, well, almost everybody. It's nice to see so many faces that I haven't been able to see since April. This year has been a wild ride for sure. We have been through a lot as a class, and even though some odds are stacked against us, here we are, joined together, ready to graduate and end off a roller coaster of a senior year. And please stick with me through this. Public speaking isn't my strong suit, and luckily, I only have to present this speech 3 times. You know, this year started off pretty average. I wake up late and race to school. Thank God I have a really close parking spot. And learn concepts in each of my classes. But then we were all thrown for a loop. All of a sudden, a pandemic was upon us. In the beginning, I remember thinking that we would only take a week off from school, which sounded kind of nice actually. And then we would all go back and end off senior year together. But for the safety of everybody, we ended up finishing the year out with e-learning. I know this was tough for most people to hear, but even though it was a big change, we adapted and made the best out of it. I can say for sure that I was glad when I no longer had to wake up at 7 a.m. Also, the teachers worked hard to give us online work that we could easily do at home because they knew some of us were going through a rough time. And I want to thank all the teachers and faculty for working their butts off to keep us healthy and sane during quarantine. And now we have a cool story that we can exaggerate to our children when they don't want to go to school. Here is my impersonation. Oh yeah? You don't want to go to school? Well, I still did my schooling through a pandemic, so grab your bag, Timmy, you're going to school. As a generation, we have stepped up in so many different ways. We came together, but always 6 feet apart, to try to stop the spread of the coronavirus. We also have stepped up for what we believed in, and I am so proud to be able to say that I'm a part of the class of 2020, because even though we didn't get to enjoy the whole senior experience, we didn't whine about it. We knew what had to be done, and we did it. Having to wait a little longer to get my diploma was okay, because the wait allowed me to get alongside many of my friends. And even though it isn't everybody, and many family members and friends are watching from home, it's enough for me because I'm thankful we were even able to have a graduation. So, I don't know if many people know this, but I really like making poems, and I wanted to insert one into my speech, so here we go. We are the class of 2020. We stood together when times were rough, because we knew having each other was quite enough. We had our whole world changed in 1 year, and for all of us it became quite clear that the new normal was nothing to fear. We are the class of 2020. We stand up together for what we believe. We work toward a goal we all want to achieve. We are the generation who will stand up and fight for what we believe and what we hold right, because we want to make a world so bright. We are the class of 2020. Today our adventure has come to an end, but the memories together will still extend. We have formed a bond past these walls, and the memory of us will forever be in these halls, because we are the class of 2020. And for the classmates who have passed on before us, we thank you for the memories that you have given us, and you will forever be in our hearts. Today, we graduate for you. I want to thank you guys for listening to my speech, but there is one final thing I want to say, and it's that I want to thank everybody who has helped me throughout my journey through high school. My teachers who always answered my absurd amount of questions, my friends who always pushed me to do better, and my parents who always supported me and tried to help me even when they didn't understand. For example, calculus questions. I love you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Kirsten. Mr. Galvin, as principal of Twin Lakes High School, I hereby certify that the graduates sitting here today, Sunday, June 28, 2020, have met the requirements as prescribed by the Indiana Department of Education and the Twin Lakes Board of Trustees. Therefore, it's my privilege and honor to present to you the class of 2020. They are now ready to receive a diploma or certificate of completion, signifying that each one has successfully completed the curriculum requirements of Twin Lakes High School. It is my pleasure to introduce Twin Lakes High School Assistant Principal, Mrs. Desiree Swain, to present the individual graduates and Twin Lakes School Corporation Superintendent, Mr. Michael Galvin, to receive their diploma. Mrs. Swain.
First 2 rows, please stand. Matthew James Goldsmith. Eusebio Gomez Cruz. Kayla May Goodman. Jace Jordan Greer. Clay Gregory Green. Brianna Nicole Hacker. Shaylee Breelyn Harrison. Cheyenne Summer Hettinger. Luke Zakai Hankey. Amelia Hensley. Laura Fernanda Hernandez. Megan Brianne Hillary. Cheyenne Renee Holmes. Dylan James Holzclaw. Braden Daryl Hauser. Kaylin Brenna Howard. Colton Allen Hull. Andrea Adalie Reagan Hurst. Cynthia Imana Jansen. Brandon Michael Jeffries. Brianna Coe Johnson. Emily Lenore Johnson. Tyler Adam Jordan. Zachary Wells Kiesling. Wesley Barron Pennington. Kara Diana Knox. Alexander Joel Lane. Martin Brian Levy Lepidra. Kelly Marie Latour. Preston Scott Lata. Camille Joe Lay. Salvador Lopez. Yaneli Alejandra Lopez Reyes. Bryce Kobe Luce. Emily Rochelle McOwen. Leslie Michelle Martinez Duran. Krista Lynn Marvin. Brianna Carol Denon May. Mercedes Nicole McAnally. Richard Anthony McCracken. Zoe Elizabeth McNulty. Kiara Jasmine Miller. Madison Ann Miller. Jacob Evan Milligan. Brant Allen Minicus. Dayton Drew Minthorn. Taylor K. Moaloa. Brian J. Molina. Jonathan Moreno Ravallo. Haley Marie Morgan. Lucy May Mowry. Brianne K. Nelson. Brooke Faye Nelson. Riley Jade Ness Phillips. Michael Allen Newman. Gabriel Jacob Nickel. Brianna Marie Northern. Haley Michelle O'Brien. Anthony Ocampo. Yahira Nayeli Ocampo. Jennifer Ochoa. Nancy Elizabeth Oriana. Alexander Ortega. Jaden Matthew Owsley.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Swain. Once again, it is my honor to bring the class of 2020's valedictorian, Houston Roberts, to the stage for the changing of the tassels. Will the class of 2020 please rise? Class of 2020, please follow your valedictorian in changing of the tassels. Houston and the class of 2020, please take your left hand and move your graduation tassel from the right side of your cap to the left side of your cap, so the tassel is now hanging over your heart. It is now my pleasure to present the class of 2020. Congratulations, you are now an official graduate of Twin Lakes High School. Thank you, class of 2020. And thank you for attending today's ceremony.